back with the rest of my Hammer horror collection. I showed off my box set, my Hammer box set that contained 21 films. If you didn't see that, I made a video just showing that off, but I wanted to go ahead and go through my other Hammer films for you guys. And I'm going to kind of do this backwards just so I can keep them in order. But I'm obviously missing some things and things like that in my collection, so let me know what else I need. And also, I threw in some extras like some Amicus stuff and things like that. So, first off, I'm going to start with the modern stuff. So, I'm going to go through the modern films, like they re-released some modern horror, Hammer horror films under the modern, label. And the first one I'm going to show you is Woman in Black 2, which I have not watched this one yet. I have seen Woman in Black, which I'll show here in a second. So, there's Woman in Black 2. Then we have The Woman in Black, which I just have this one on DVD. But I actually really enjoyed this movie. I think it's really good. Next up, Wakewood. This is a good one. Kind of an Irish horror tale. You can see the Hammer logo there at the bottom. Then we have The Resident. Not a big fan of this one, but I'm a completist, so I keep it with my horror films. It does have Christopher Lee in it as well. An older Christopher Lee. And then we have The Quiet Ones. I have not watched this one yet either. I need to get around to doing that. Next up, Let Me In, which was good. I enjoyed this one a lot. Moving on here, we have some Amicus stuff with The Beast Must Die, excuse me. Then we have The Phantom of the Opera. Next up, we have The Mummy. I'm a big fan of this film, loved the artwork. That's why I picked this one up. It's got the alternate artwork there underneath. Really cool stuff. Big fan of this film. There's the back. Then I have the DVD as well, just because I couldn't bear to get rid of it because I like the artwork so much. Had this one for a long time. Next up, we have Frankenstein, the Monster from Hell. Now we're going to get into my Frankenstein films. Love the artwork on that one. Real bright and colorful. Then we have Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. Next up, Frankenstein Created Woman, Blu-ray from the Hammer collection. Can't remember if the artwork, I think it's the same, yeah. Then we have a 2-pack here, and it is The Revenge of Frankenstein and The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, which there's 2 new ones of these coming out soon from Mill Creek, which these are really cool little sets to grab and watch those flicks. Then we have The Curse of Frankenstein and Taste the Blood of Dracula. I'm a huge fan of the Curse of Frankenstein artwork, which I'll show right now with this old snapper case I have. So The Curse of Frankenstein, love that artwork. We look inside here. Really cool stuff. I always liked snapper cases. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I always was a fan of them. So really cool stuff. Look at that artwork one more time. Then next up here, we have Darkness. It's I think Darkness Tolls, yeah, which has Satanic Rites of Dracula, Horror Express, and Horror Hotel. And you can see it's got a lenticular cover with Christopher Lee there. And this actually opens up and has some information about Christopher Lee, which is pretty cool. I love how on the cover it says Lord of the Rings and Star Wars star Christopher Lee. Yeah, forget Hammer and everything else awesome he did. Let's just mention those. There's the back, which of course Satanic Rites of Dracula has so many releases because it was public domain for a while, I guess. It still is, which I have a couple. So Satanic Rites of Dracula again. The special deluxe edition. which this one actually comes with a CD that has music that's inspired by it, which I always thought was pretty cool. So you can see there it's got the disc, and then it has the CD as well. Then we have Satanic Rites of Dracula again, and the Deep Red Hatchet Murders. Interesting combo. Next up, the Satanic Rites of Dracula. I love collecting these different public domain editions. And this is really weird, like jewel case. You know, they released a few of these. Opens up like that. So, pretty interesting release. Next up, Dracula AD 1972. Love that picture. I forget. Yeah, the artwork on this one is different, as you can see. Go ahead and look at the back of that one. And I like that movie. I'm a fan of all of the Dracula films with Christopher Lee. Next up, Scars of Dracula. Again, shout out to my boy Aaron Penn on here. He's a big Hammer fan as well, and he is an auteur. That man has an amazing collection. So, shout out to him because we both like Scars of Dracula. And then we have Taste the Blood of Dracula. These covers, I really like the Monster Mayhem covers that they did. They have different slipcover. There's the film. Cool releases. Then we have Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. Dracula Prince of Darkness. Another one of the Hammer Collector's Editions. Which has probably had a slip, I'm guessing, which I don't have, unfortunately. The Horror of Dracula. Another one of the Monster Mayhem slips. There's the interior art. Good stuff. Next up, we have Horror of Dracula. Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. Taste the Blood of Dracula and Dracula AD 1972. And they're like on flipper discs. I've had this release for a while. One of those 4-film favorite. This is Dracula's. So cool stuff. Easy just to grab and watch them when you want to. Then we have the Hammer Films collection that has Creatures the World Forgot, Never Take Candy from a Stranger, The Revenge of Frankenstein, The Snorkel, Maniac, and Die, Die, My Darling. These are really cool releases from Mill Creek. If you want to get something inexpensive to have a bunch of Hammer flicks on it. Then we have another 2-pack here with the Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll and the Gorgon. Love the Gorgon. It's a great movie. These are really cool, again, releases from Mill Creek, and there's 2 more of those coming out. We have the Hammer Horror 8-film collection, which is in this really cool slip box. We can look on the back here. It has Brides of Dracula, The Curse of the Werewolf, Night Creatures, The Phantom of the Opera, Paranoiac, The Kiss of the Vampire, Nightmare, and The Evil of Frankenstein. Really, really cool set. It's a must-have if you're a Hammer fan. And then we have this really awesome set. It's volume 1, and it's Taste the Blood of Dracula, The Mummy, Dracula's Risen from the Grave, and Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. There's the back. And this thing, it's hard to get out, actually. Let me see if I can do it off camera. Yeah. Because I really like the way this looks. If we open it up, see they have these really amazing artwork with the disc and the little sleeve. Really cool stuff. Love that picture right there. And then there's the back, which is also very cool. So that's a really, really cool release. I believe you can still get that pretty easily online. Set that there. And a couple more things here. We have the Hammer House of Horror, the complete Hammer House of Horror that has Tales of Terror from the legendary British film studio. There's all the volumes, and here's the back info on that. Really cool set, anthology series. I highly recommend it. It's really, really good. So if you don't have that, it's a cool one to have. And then we have the Amicus set that came out not too long ago with Asylum, Now the Screaming Starts, or excuse me, And Now the Screaming Starts, The Beast Must Die, and The Vault of Amicus. Which I'll go ahead real quick and take these out. So you have The Vault of Amicus there. Then we have And Now the Screaming Starts. Sorry about the glare there. The Asylum. And The Beast Must Die. Awesome stuff. Watched that one recently. And lastly here, a couple more for you. We have The camera messed up there. The Brotherhood of Satan, Torture Garden, and The Creeping Flesh. This one's also from Mill Creek. Really cool set. Love Torture Garden. If you're an anthology fan, you know about that. And then I just pulled this one out. It was a Jess Franco 7 release of Count Dracula with Christopher Lee, just because it had Christopher Lee in it. There's the back of that one as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's quite a few films. As you can see, I've got my stacks over here. But I love Hammer Horror. Let me know if there's anything I'm missing. Again, if you didn't watch my other video that has my complete Hammer Horror box set with 21 films. It's a really awesome release. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you like Hammer, let me know what some of your favorites are. I definitely like it's hard to pick, but the Dracula and Frankenstein franchises are amazing. So anyway, Christopher Lee, can't beat him as Dracula. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe if you haven't. And hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.